first of all, I've seen the whole series. I really want to commend you guys. It's just fantastic, and it's left me thinking about it, days after I watched it.
Good.
Before I get started, how much of the series have you guys actually watched?
I watched it all.
I've watched most of it. I think I still have 2 more episodes to go.
Curious which of the episodes that does not involve your characters was your favorite? Like, did you have a favorite storyline that was not your own?
Well, when you say favorite, there are certainly images that stick in my mind very powerfully, and scenes that stick in my mind particularly. I thought that the trucking period of time in India was interesting, and I loved the way that episode ended.
Yeah. I think
just with hope, it gave us a lot of hope at the end there after going through that journey of that episode.
Yeah, and I think there are absolutely there are many portions throughout the series that are very, very they stick with you, and obviously like the forest fires, and floodings, and sort of the actual. I just felt very affected whenever there was such a physical effect, sort of on a location or something like that. I don't want to give anything away, but I just found it very moving to see, even like the images of sort of New York, basically underwater and things like that are very, very moving and very scary, and sort of have stuck with me.
For both of you, what was it about the material that said, I have to do this? Or was it just Scott Burns' name on the script and you're like, I'm in?
Well, kind of a bit of both. Honestly, I felt like we were in good hands. Certainly, this is the perfect marriage of material and maestro. He's so gifted at writing, and he's so concerned and done his homework as far as the science that he's representing on screen. So with having said that, I was passionate about the topic. It's something I wish there was more of in our entertainment industry, telling the story of the world that we live in, and rather than some other planet or some other version of the future that's not contending with things that we know to be true. So for me to have this nagging sense of concern, and yet the entertainment industry is not responding to that, that I found very gratifying as an artist. And then to watch the end result, I feel super proud to be part of it, and it sort of came true in the way that you hope when you sign on to a show and you don't get to know the full picture until you see it.
No, absolutely. And I think that Scott is an incredible writer and the perfect person to sort of lead the ship of this show, and by blending an incredibly delicate balance between science and teaching, definitely myself and other individuals about sort of the minutia of some of the things that are going on in global warming and global change, and sort of the leading sort of efforts and what they mean and how it's done, but also mixed with, human emotions, human relationships that we can all relate to, and the humanity that is pumped through every scene is so clear. It's every scene is educating, but also you can relate to it on such a human level, and that is so hard to do and so exciting. And as a young actor, getting to work with just such phenomenal writers and directors and actors, so it was very exciting for me.
And also, he keeps his sense of humor, which I think is key. I mean,
absolutely.
For me, if I no matter how circumstances are, I keep my humor, and that's when I lose my humor, then I know I'm in trouble. So, and Scott does too.
One of the things that I really couldn't believe when I was watching is just the ambition of the series, and how much they've used real science to tell a entertaining story that takes place in the future. I'm basically just, if you could talk a little bit about the quality of the writing, because it's just so unusual for it to be on this level, to, be both art and informative. It's just a very great marriage.
Well, I think you said it best. In a way, I could just say, I agree with you.
It's totally. Scott's brilliant, and he has such a sensibility for human beings, and he's someone who really does research.
He cares. He cares, and so if you're going to care that much, I'm glad that he's in control of of the show, because he's a great helmsman, and he sees the through line. So to have an eye on the arc of all of these characters and interweaving them, and you think, well, and then we revisit where they are now and what their journey was, and how that impacted the other journey and the other episode, when those characters may not have been on screen, but they come back later, and you see the way they're interwoven, interconnected. So, yeah, he knows some stuff, Mr. Burns.
He'll land on his feet. So I love learning about the behind the scenes, the making of shows and movies. Is there anything that you think that soon-to-be fans of this show will be surprised or would be surprised to learn about the actual making of it?
I mean, as an actor, I was surprised by some of just the sort of tech marvels that are happening in this industry now. Like, there are whole scenes where we're looking at spaceships. I mean, we all know about CGI, but until you do a scene, you're looking at a wall and you're like talking to the wall, and they're like, no, they're going to put something there. And you're like, okay, like, I understand, I get it. But then you watch the show and you're like, I can't, like, it's right. There's this giant ship in front of me, or like this hologram that was absolutely not there. Sort of the marvels of like movie making are still so exciting to me, and just sort of there's this stick with this ball on it, and I don't know what it does, but like half of it is this like
the silver.
Yeah, it's like the half is silver and half is like dark, and they just run in and they just like move it around. I don't know what it does.
It centers the world for the what like they're going to put in later to know and like where everything is, I guess.
Just their ability. I always watch them do that. I'm like, I don't know how the heck that like puts these CGI spaceships, but it does, and it's really incredible.
Yeah, hats off to those ladies and gentlemen who are the unsung heroes. You know what I mean? Like, they make the magic happen that we're just showing up for magically in our part.
Yeah. The thing with I know the ships you're talking about, and the visual effects in this series, they're incredible, especially when it's done in daylight and it looks real.
Absolutely.
Before I run out of time with you guys, I definitely want to ask an individual question for each of you. Diane, have you started recording for Inside Out too? Because that's something that I'm really looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to it too. The answer is no, not yet. I can't wait to get my script, and it's imminent. It's coming up this month, I think. So you're really on top of it.
I pay attention. Right. And Michael, I am a big fan of Daredevil and Charlie Cox and all those people. And I believe you're part of the upcoming Daredevil series. Talk a little bit about getting to join the MCU, and can you tease anything about your role?
I mean, it's incredible. It's so exciting and daunting, and everyone is so nice and so talented. And I remember getting my first text from the producer. I was driving and it said, "Welcome to the MCU." And like, you see that, and it's just like hits you, and like I teared up, and it's just like, oh my God, like it's I'm very grateful and lucky. I believe all I can say about my character is that my character's from Staten Island, and like that's about it. So
the guy from Staten
that's
Island.
The guy from Staten Island. But I think people are going to really be excited to be in Hell's Kitchen and see sort of the version of Daredevil that everyone knows and loves, but now a part of this much bigger world where all of these other players are now sort of in play. So it's exciting.
Diane knows how to talk without talking as well. She's done some DC stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have a DC versus
Marvel. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, listen, congrats on the series, and thank you for giving me your time. I really do hope a ton of people watch it.
Oh, thank you very much.